always really, really shy, like extremely painfully shy.
So I saw your last Instagram post with all your new tattoos. You said
Yes.
new ink, new beginnings.
Yeah.
So what is the new ink and what is the new beginning?
Well, that's going to be very personal. But so the new ink is just, so I've wanted to get my knuckles tattooed forever, and what I have, so it may look like it's a tough guy tattoo, but these are like all really like superhero symbols, and I've always wanted to have Rockstar. Yeah, it's like Superman, like Sith and Aquaman, and just Guardians, Avengers, this is Spectres, Wu-Tang Clan, Batman, things like that. And the new beginnings was just because I went through a divorce, and so I'm starting. so yeah.
I love how he can tattoo his whole body, but I can't. I'm just not allowed for some reason. He says I can't.
You can when you're older.
She cannot.
You have to wait a little
I
bit.
know.
Yeah. I told her. I said, don't get tattooed, but if you want, when you're older, when you've made up your mind, then have the discussion with your parents.
My parents would never let me get a tattoo.
So how were you as a kid, Dave? Were you like, I feel like you were a troublemaker, but is that...
Oh, God, no. I was so quiet. I was such an introvert. I was so shy when I was young. I was always bigger than the rest of the kids, but I was just always really, really shy, like extremely painfully shy.
Are you still a little shy?
Very much, yeah. I've definitely come, it's weird. I didn't come out of my shell until I started professional wrestling, and that kind of forced me out of my shell. But I still struggle with it somewhat. I have a bit of social anxiety. There's certain things I still struggle with. But even like a lot of people who grew up with me were just shocked to find out that I was, a professional wrestler, that I was performing in front of people, speaking in front of people. Because usually you'd be hard pressed to pull a couple words out of me. I was just such an introvert.
And still, even when you go into acting, being introvert is, maybe you just like put on a totally different act so it doesn't feel like you.
I found that it's not as uncommon as you would imagine. I've found that a lot of actors are introverted and self-conscious. It always makes me happy to hear similar stories from other actors. But it's very much of a thing where acting is really letting go of being self-conscious, because it's almost, a paranoid thing to have to sit there and have cameras looking at you and knowing that you have to deliver these lines in a very natural, organic way. But actually being able to let go of that fear of it coming across false and overthinking is that's kind of the struggle. What do you think?
I agree.
You don't come off as shy, though.
She doesn't, but she's naturally gifted. She's naturally a performer. And I know that for a fact because I just saw a video of her the other day singing Frozen.
Oh, no.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That was when I was in,
I think she was born to perform.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
I don't think I was.
But now, you've
well, I love it.
I
love it. I'm passionate about it. So, but I also really wanted, that's the way I wanted the direction of my career to go. I wanted to be I wanted to be an actor. I fell in love with acting, so I wanted to focus on that, not so much being an action star and being a cliche character that people would expect me to be.
So do you remember your first paycheck from Hollywood? What that felt like when you were thinking?
Oh, it was
about
horrible.
acting?
Yeah, it was really bad because I had already made a lot of money professional wrestling. So my first acting jobs were not paying very much. But I knew, but I was passionate about it, so I was pursuing it, and I knew I'd have to pay some dues and struggle a little bit. And at least when I was getting acting jobs, I was happy to have acting jobs because I left professional wrestling. I left on top to pursue acting.
And I saw you doing some flirting on Twitter now. Can you?
Yeah.
What can you talk about that?
Yeah, so it was funny because that was another thing. It was that came from me kind of being newly single, and I had a friend who wrestles in WWE who was also single, and we started flirting with each other online, but we did it in a very cheesy way to have fun with it. And for some reason, it really caught on, and. Yeah, and I don't know, it kind of caught on and got really big, but yeah.
So did you meet?
What's that?
Did you have a date yet?
We don't have a date yet.
Okay.
We don't have, but she is a friend, and I consider her a close friend. So, I don't know. We'll keep in touch and keep talking about it. I don't know how much more we'll be flirting online because we kept kind of one-upping, each other. And to the point where, like, you know, it may go somewhere totally bad for our careers if we keep trying to one-up each other with the flirtation. So
But now everyone is expecting it to
they're
happen.
really,
Yes.
like, really anticipating.
We're
It's
waiting.
become like this online soap opera. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'll continue to have fun with it. I like Dana very much. And we'll continue to have fun with it, I think.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, thank
So you have to talk about how it was working with this guy. Were you, when you saw him the first time, were you a little intimidated? How?
He is intimidating all the time, but then again, he's so sweet. And, you know, like, first meeting him, I was prepared that he was going to be big, but not that big. But, you know, when I got to work with him and, you know, I became his friend and we hung out a lot more, I just realized, you know, what a great person he is. And so generous of himself and, you know, the way that he gives of himself to everybody and connects with me and, you know, treats me almost as if I'm adult with him.
She is.
You
She's
sound
much
like
more
an
mature.
adult.
She's
Thank
much
you.
more mature than I've ever been. And I think she, you know, she says that she walked in the room and she was a bit intimidated, and nobody could tell. I mean, she had, for one, she had the whole room in tears, but also the first thing I said to her, because I'm always a little bit prepared, and I'm even for auditions or commits where I know I have the job, I still get a bit nervous. So one of the first things I said to her was, "Are you going to be disappointed if I don't know all my lines?" And she said, "A little bit." And I made a running joke, and we had it throughout the film. I said, "Well, then you have to know your lines, and you have to know mine as well. So that way, if I need you to tell me my lines, you'll tell me."
Half of the
And she
time,
did.
in the morning, I just be like, okay, make sure you know these lines.
So
'cause
you
he's
helped
in
him?
front of you. Yeah.
Good. She helped everyone. Yeah.
Did he teach you any like wrestling tricks?
If I tried wrestling with him, you could say hasta la vista. I would have been wrong. I would have
Yeah.
been clobbered. I'm a tiny person, and
Yeah.
you know, I didn't learn a lot of wrestling. Like me and my sister, it's not like we wrestle or anything, but we're tough. Like when it comes to fighting. Now that we're growing up, you know, I don't think I learned a lot of wrestling
No,
skills.
we didn't wrestle. We hugged it out a few times,
Yeah.
but we didn't do much wrestling.
Hi there, thanks for watching my channel. If you like that video, maybe there's other videos you like here on my channel, so please subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you like. Be happy, be nice to people, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye.